Hello and welcome back to Where Are All My Friends? This week is with Tai Verdes, and I know I say this a lot, but I am so excited about this episode. I didn't know him at all. I saw that he had a new song come out, Stuck in the Middle. It's the only song he has out on Spotify, and I was like, yo, this is very good. I send him a DM, ask if he wants to do the pod. He said yes, and you're about to hear the story. What he has done before his artist project as Tai Verdes is unreal. It's so good, and I figured that there had to be a story behind just an artist that pops up that has a remarkable song out of nowhere, but I wasn't ready for how good it was, how genuine and honest and authentic his story was, just like his work ethic and the advice that he gives, like the story, he gets completely into every bit of how that song came together and how it blew up. So it's massively inspirational for any artist, anyone that's trying to get their break, but just the person he is, the work ethic that he has, the story that came before it is so crazy. And for that reason, it was absolutely one of my favorite episodes. I didn't know him at all, and it was this amazing flow of an episode with so much wisdom, so much inspiration, which if you know me, that's the whole reason I do this podcast. Is I really hope that by listening to this, you get inspiration for whatever your project is. I really hope to inspire people to keep going and to unlock those missing pieces. So an episode like this that tells that so well is everything I've ever wanted to put out. If you like it, the biggest favor that you can do for me is sharing it with a friend, sharing it with anyone else that would be inspired by it. The entire way this podcast has grown has been word of mouth, and it means the world to me. That's every bit of why I do this. So if you like this one, share it with a friend. Let's get into it. Where are all my friends? Another episode. This one's really cool to me because we didn't know each other at all. This was full on just a DM sent. I saw your song come out and I was like, this is awesome. I DM'd you and you were down. So this is kind of sometimes my favorite episodes to do, having no backstory or anything, because I feel like the conversation can just be so genuine and learn so much. So dude, thank you so much for literally being down off of a DM.
Yeah, man, the way that you're talking about it makes it feel super heartfelt that I accepted, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to have a podcast and I would try to get people on it, and just hearing people, not hearing them respond. That shit,
yeah.
That shit sucks. So I was like, anytime anyone wants to give me a podcast, for as long as I can, if I have time, I'll be able to reach out and do it. I don't care. I'll fucking help.
No way. I had no idea that you had a podcast, but yes, that's exactly it. And every now and then you just kind of throw that Hail Mary of yo, this artist is sick and can't hurt to shoot a DM. So I was honestly surprised when you said yes in the best way. But that says so much that you know the feeling. That's crazy. You had a podcast?
Yeah, exactly. So I had a podcast. I was on MTV for a while. And then on that MTV show, I wasn't a drama character, but I did making fun of people and talking and chopping it up, that stuff. So my main thing afterwards, I was okay, what I really want to do afterwards is do a podcast with these people. I feel because podcasts were coming up for a while, they're the most popular than they ever have been. So
totally.
And I just like talking in general. So
it's so fun.
Yeah, exactly. Just talking to people, getting to know them. It's crazy. It's weird that I'm in the spotlight in this one because I'm usually interviewing other people. So that's why I was like, let me switch the seats right now and see what happens.
Dude, I'm extra honored on that. And oh my God, you just said, I didn't even know that you were on MTV. On my side, legit, I saw your song come out. I saw Stuck in the Middle come out and I was like, this is awesome. And that was it. And I just found your Instagram and I was like, yo, this is amazing. So, and I intentionally didn't do too much research because I wanted to just be yo, where did you come from? How are you this good? So I am so excited now because I had no idea. Before I get super ahead of myself, because I'm already super hype on this, for anybody listening who doesn't know who you are, just briefly explain what you're up to right now and what you are doing.
Yeah, so to everyone who is listening, right now I'm going by the name Tai Verdes, and I just put out this song that is probably gonna hit 1 million streams by the end of the week. So that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, I just make music. I'm a songer. I'm a songer. I'm a singwriter, songwriter. I'm a singwriter, and what is it? A singer songwriter? Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know. That's how fresh I am, right?
Damn.
But yeah, like I write all my lyrics, I write all my melodies. I do work with different producers, like the Stuck in the Middle. The guy who helped produce it, he's in France. And
Oh, whoa.
yeah, so yeah, that's how that came to be, and people are responding to it, and it's awesome. Like life changed by one song. It's true to everyone who like sees people talk about it. It really is. You just get one song, and then your life changes.
That is the most inspirational thing for me to hear. And like I think a lot of this podcast is like I've worked in music in some capacity for a long time. And I always think that like we're always chasing something, and hearing the success stories of people that have just grinded and kept going and like get to that point of having that one song, like that's everything. So hearing you just say that right now and like in the moment while it's happening is so freaking cool.
Yeah, and the moment's changing. Like I thought the moment was going to be like, oh, this is like, man, this is ridiculous. Like I thought when it first started that I would get maybe like 100,000 plays on it, and it would be over. I had to put out another song.
Yeah.
But I can't even put out, like, I have other songs ready to go, and I can't even put them out because I thought, well, no, because first of all, I don't want to distract from the attention Stuck in the Middle is getting. I'm just like
Yeah.
promoting it, like doing campaigns, doing like fan stuff. Um, but I'm ready. Like, I feel like people don't even know like what type of music I really make. I only have this one song. And then my
Yeah.
old stuff too. So like the old stuff isn't anything like the new stuff, which is crazy.
Okay, yeah. So maybe this is the perfect spot to like go backwards a little bit, because when I saw Stuck in the Middle, I like the only feeling that I had was like you clearly had to have done something in the past to just have one song drop and everything looks so good and sounds so good. Like that had to have come from somewhere. So what like, and then you said you were on MTV, like holy, where does it start? Like take me back to the beginning of all of this.
All right. Okay. So I guess I'm going to talk for a while now. So buckle up for this shit.
Yo, the tables have turned. It is your
Yeah.
turn to do this.
Okay. So basically, I thought I was going to be in the NBA. Like I really did. I'm 6'7".
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. I'm super tall.
Holy.
And I was playing in like all those leagues as a kid. Like I was like in the Nike leagues. I was playing with, I don't know if people know Donovan Mitchell, but he's like an NBA All-Star right now. I was on his team as a high schooler.
Whoa.
A bunch of people that I played with in high school and well, yeah, basically in high school, they're either in the NBA or in like the D League somewhere. But when I went out of high school, I signed to a D3 team, and it was called Babson College. And I went there, and I absolutely hated the school part of it. Like the basketball part was okay, but it got progressively worse as well. So like things were just not going my way, and I just didn't even like have any passion anymore for the sport. So after like a year and a half, I dropped out of Babson College, and that was probably the turning point of like everything. Like for the people who are in college right now and you are not putting your all into it, I never want to tell people to drop out, but like there's so much other things that you could do in order to like sustain yourself, as long as you don't like have a kid or something like that. Like if you're in your 20s to 30s, like swing for the fences, man. Like I dropped out, and I was like, okay, let's make some shit shake. I went to my parents were still on me about school, so I went to community college. I was at a really like Babson College is like one of the best business schools in the world. And I was like, let me try something easier. So I went to community college. Still
Yeah.
didn't give a fuck about community college. I was in this class learning like basic stuff, and I was like, I don't even want to do this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically it was like me figuring out, like I had to learn the lesson a bunch of times, but I was like, fuck, school is not my thing. I'm not going to do school. I'm going to stop doing school. What else can I do? So then
Yeah.
I when I was at school, I had heard like one of my friends was like, "Dude, there's this show on. You'd be really good on it." It was called "Are You the One?" And it's basically this show where they take 11 guys and 11 girls, and they predetermine their matches, and you go in a house and you try to find who they predetermined like matched you with. And you get $50,000 if you win the show. It's a competition dating show.
No way.
Right. So after I dropped out of school, I was like, while I was like figuring out I didn't want to go to community college, I was like going through the process of being on the show. And I was like, man, this would be really cool if I had 50 grand to like stop going to school, just like figure out what I want to do. And then eventually in July, or like I think it was like early May, I went and I did it. I got the like the spot on the show. I was one of the 22 people chosen, one of the 11 guys chosen.
No way. What was casting like? Like what? I've literally zero idea how anything like that works.
Literally, they just DM you. They just they just try to find young guys that are 21 that probably are like that they see on Instagram that they're like, oh, he'd be good on the show, and then they say like, hey, you down? The thing is that you need like they need to talk to you a bunch, and you do like a bunch of psych testing, and you do like that because they don't want you to be too crazy, but they want you to be crazy, right?
Wild.
I'm not crazy.
Did you like play into that a little bit? Like, did you know that they were looking for somebody like interesting?
Here's the thing: they're looking for someone interesting. I'm not going to toot my own horn and say I'm interesting, but I like my whole thing was like I was funny the entire time. Like,
okay,
they were looking for like the players because you could either be on the show because you were a player, you could be on the show because you were like you didn't get girls, you could be on the show because you were this and that, like.
Okay. They gave you like so they wanted like very clear roles of like this person is this
guy's the angry guy, this guy has trust issues, this guy is this. They didn't really have a role for me because I didn't give them anything. Like I knew that I wanted to do everything. Yeah. So what they did was like I went on the show. What happened was I got the part. We went to Louisiana where I shot the film. I mean, well, not the film, but to TV. I was there for like 60 days shooting this reality TV show. And they take your phone. You can't talk to your family. You can't do anything. It's basically just like The Bachelor, to be honest. It's like The Bachelor, but more ratchet. So like people were getting in fights. I got in a fight. It was like the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? But during the entire time, I didn't give them any like material. So they just said that I was like the friend zone guy because I wasn't trying to like get with any of the girls because I didn't want to have sex on TV. That was like my thing. And now I guess I'm going into music, so like maybe I'll have like sexual innuendos in my music and stuff like that, which is completely different to me because it's like more art. But like to me, that's kind of, and not to like say I'm better than someone else. That's just not my thing. I didn't want to have sex on TV. I want to keep my bedroom shit private. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't get all my secrets.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, like that. Yeah, that's just your own point of integrity. Yeah. But the show was kind of looking for that drama and like wanted you to go full ratchet.
Yeah, they wanted me to go full ratchet. I was like, nah, I'll go quarter ratchet, make fun of people, get into a fight, you know? Yeah. And I was like, okay. They gave me that little brand, and then everyone when they said like there was like a little blurb under me, and it was like, oh, Tyler, the friend zone guy. Every single girl that I knew was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Because,
amazing.
Like I literally made a song about like being a play. Like my first song that has 1 million plays on it is about me being a player kind of, you know what I'm saying?
That's too funny.
So it's like they got I'm not going to say they got me all wrong, but they got me at least half wrong. You know what I'm saying? So after that happened, came back, we won the $50,000. So I had it was like me, 21, $50,000 in downtown LA. What do you do? And
that's unreal. That is like, that's a movie. Like that's crazy.
So what I did was I knew that in the back of my head, I was like, I need to figure out how to make money doing something that I like. So a lot of people would be like, you should invest in blah, blah, blah. I used it to like sustain myself. I lived in the cheapest place possible. I lived for like $500 in a living room for like in downtown LA for 3 years. Like I'm still living in this living room. Like the rent just went up.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, you know, like those blocked off living rooms people live in. Like that's what I do. Even right now, I've been living like this for like 3 years. So,
dude, honestly, I love and respect that so much because I feel like it's so easy to just be like, yo, I have a large sum of cash. I'm going to flex as hard as I can. But I love that mindset of being like, no, like I'm going to use this to my advantage. This is an asset. I'm going to stretch this out and make it work for me. I don't care about flexing with some crazy house.
Well, for me, flexing was being able to live in LA for the longest time because a lot of people who came here ran out of money. Like they money, and
I guess that's true.
People in general who come here run out of money really fast, and I think that a lot of people wouldn't even like if I told any person in like, I don't know, Oklahoma or Texas or whatever, that they, like, here's $50,000, move to LA. Um, like, I think out of everyone in the world, I'd probably stretch it out as like, I think I got 2.5 years out without getting a job. Yeah.
Damn. No, that's sick. And I forget, I don't know the college well, but where were you born? Where are you from?
I was born in Torrance and moved to Oregon for 5 years. And then I moved to LA for, oh no, I moved to Chicago for 6 years and came back to LA for the rest of the time. So that's like 7, 8 years. And I went to boarding school where I played with all those basketball kids and for a year in New Hampshire. Then I went to Boston for a year and a half. And then,
oh damn, so you've been all over.
yeah, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of things. Been around a lot of people. I went to public school, private school, boarding school. My dad is on the chair of like HBCU, so that's like the Black community, like historically Black college and universities. I went to, and then I went to a private college, and then my brother went to public college. So then I've literally seen every single part of the school system that, except for maybe like an all boys school. That I never did that, but
no, that's crazy. I mean, well, because for me, I was just kind of thinking like, for you to understand like the appeal of LA, and like I was curious if you had come from somewhere in the past where you knew that it was like an opportunity to make the most of it, and it definitely sounds like that's the case.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, I lived here for 6 years, so it's kind of, you know, like when you live here, it kind of drowns out all that like specialness of it. But I knew that downtown
Yeah.
LA was where I needed to be if I wanted to make something happen in terms of like creating a platform or something or just doing something.
Yeah.
So basically, go back into the story.
Yeah.
I'm 21 with $50,000 in LA. I get this really cheap living room apartment, and then I just start doing anything. So I had a little platform after the show because people followed me from the show. I had like 80,000 followers or something like that.
Oh, cool.
And I started doing social media influencing. I started modeling. I started acting. So when you start off, everything's shitty. Like everything is shitty. And that's what I think that's one of the biggest things is like, I don't know if I'm either brave or stupid because I would I would try these things and I would like be horrible in the beginning and then I would like get better. So I tried acting and I wasn't good. And then I would get like a random role. Like my first role as an actor was like called Big Big Steve or something. And it was like I was like Big Steve, medium-sized Mike, and like like small fucking, I don't know, Sammy or something. And we were the background rappers to this grandma rapper in a bank commercial. It was the stupidest thing I've ever done. Like
the lowest of the low.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. You get like $700 out of that check. And then that's what I was doing. I was like getting these random like $700. I'd get like $2,000 from doing a social media campaign, and it would come very infrequently. My money was dwindling down, but anytime I'd get something, I'd be like, yes, this is like a step forward into doing something that I want. Because I was really not trying to work I was so opposed to working a regular job. So I would literally just be, and part of the time was me just like wasting time. Like I would just like sit in my room, like kind of depressed, and be like, well, what do? I have everything. Like people, when you have money and you support yourself and you can literally do whatever you want with it and you don't have to do anything, I can see why rich people are so depressed because there's no goal. You know, like I didn't have a goal for a while. I was just like, I just don't want to have a job. So I wasn't like I wanted to be an actor or I wanted to be like I did in the back of my head have like illusions of grandeur of being like a big actor, like a big singer or something like that. But I didn't really have a step. I didn't have a plan towards it. So I can see why people with a bunch of money and their plan has already been completed, why they always talk about how it's depressing.
Right. Yeah. And the fact that you had a taste of that at such a young age is wild. Like it probably takes people a long, long time to get to that spot. But for the circumstance that you had to experience that at 21 is nuts.
Exactly. And then once I like started like getting some progress and being like, oh, I want to model, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like it gave me a little bit more direction. And then like I would meet people in LA, and LA is the worst place. It's like all full of comparison. Like, like you have these people with these fancy cars, fancy clothes. I didn't have a car for a while when I was in LA. And just taking public transit. And it's so interesting to be around people who have made it all the way and you are so far away from making it at all. And that kind of mindset is what probably drives people away, is because you're either working a job as a waitress or a waiter, or you're a bartender and you're like going to your 9 to 5 and you see these people making it and then you see no way out of what you're doing, or like the way out is like working from from 7 to 11 p.m. and then waking up at 8 a.m. It's not for everybody. Like, this shit is not for everybody. No, I'm living in a fucking living room right now. Like, this shit is not for everybody. I warn everybody.
Dude, you're painting this picture so well. Like, it's
Yeah.
so real. I feel it.
Yeah. So when that happened, and it's not like I was like, it's not like I had an inkling to do music ever. It was always just a part of me. So like, it was always something that I would go back to. Like, I was playing piano for 13 years. I was playing, and then I started playing ukulele for like 4 years. And then guitar, I just started now because, ladies love guitar. Gotta throw that in. But yeah, and also like the sound of guitar, like the rhythmic shit of it is so good. Like the finger noises and the plucking, I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was always kind of in the back of my head. So when I was like, fuck it, why not try to make some music? I went by my name, which was Tyler semicolon, that I made up in 7th grade because my real name's Tyler Colon.
Amazing.
Yeah, so then it was like a jokey thing, but I thought it was like unique, so I wanted to stand out. There's no other person named Tyler semicolon, and that was what was important about it at the time.
I mean, yeah, that is a feat in itself to come up with a name on the internet that hasn't been taken before.
Exactly. So I was like, let's just roll with it, because I'm like a guy like that thinks like you're never ready. You're never ready to like be this thing that you think you're going to be. You're just going to jump into it, even if the name's not right or the song isn't good. You got to start somewhere. So like I went online and I was like, okay, how do I make a song? Because this is at the point where I still had some money left, and I would look at like who's going to produce it, because I didn't want to. It's not that I didn't want to. I just knew that in order to get a song out, like right now, I needed to have someone to produce it right now. I can't make a good sounding song right now, and I think that's important, because when I listen to people who give me their songs or like tell me to listen to something, production is really important to me. Like if you have something, like maybe you're saying the most beautiful rhymes or you're saying the most beautiful whatever, but if your production sounds like you're like clanking on your sink and the like air conditioner's on in the background, that shit is whack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
It just completely illegitimizes your message.
It's so real.
Right? Or if the production,
so the fact that you realized that, like that's again, like that's so impressive that you had that standard and you didn't have to like learn, you didn't have to go through those failures and learn that the hard way. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so basically I wanted it to be all on me, right? I didn't want it to be like, oh, the production on this is bad, that's why this song is bad. Like I wanted to be like, oh, if this is bad, my singing performance is bad, and my whole entire like ideology for the song is bad. I don't have the right, like I wanted it to be on me basically. So I would start making songs. And this is basically after started doing modeling, acting. I was like, let me just make a song, because I wanted to do everything at one point. Like, even though I didn't have the dream of being an actor or an influencer or a model, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it and see if I like it. See if this is the type of thing for me. And when I tried the song part of it, I really liked the transformation of the words that I had on paper into like a song, and like the fact that it's there forever, like it doesn't go away. You know what I'm saying? Like just like immortalizing it basically. That was the cool part to me, that like this is always going to be something that I can point back to that I made. That was like really cool.
Dude, I feel that even with podcasts, like these conversations, like it's just this little time capsule that's always there. And like, of course, we're going to grow up, we're going to evolve, we're going to accomplish new things. But like in this moment, it's just there.
Exactly. That's
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can like, the best part about it is I know exactly what mood I was in. It's like a diary, basically. Like
yeah.
So
you felt that with songs.
Yeah, I felt that with songs. Going back a little bit, when I first came out to LA, well, I was like, here, my illusions of grandeur, they led me to America's Got Talent, American Idol, The Voice.
Interesting.
I would try out for them. I didn't really want to be on the show. I mean, like I would have done it probably if they asked me to, but it's not like my goal was to win American Idol. It was, I wanted someone to hear me sing and be like, let's move them on to the next round. That shit never happened. I wrote these songs, I sang, and shit I thought the shit was good. It was trash, probably. Like, I looking back, it was very bad, or not good, or
Yeah.
not necessarily very bad, because I'm like, I'm not tone deaf and I can play instruments, but it just wasn't all there yet. So
Yeah. Totally. I feel it.
it wasn't good enough. And this last year that I got cut, because I did it 3 years in a row. Like, I did all these circuits of auditions 3 years in a row.
No shit. Dude, that in itself actually says a lot too. Like that 3 years of perseverance on that, like that's something.
You're saying it like it's a big deal, but for me, it was like, oh, it's the January 2nd. I'm gonna just go for the day and try this thing out, like that.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So it wasn't like your lifelong mission. You're just like, oh, submissions are up.
Yeah,
So
exactly,
yeah, I'm gonna go.
exactly.
Okay. All right.
But the third time I went, this is when I was just like, I had practiced a little bit before, and I wrote a song that I thought was good, that I still think is good, that I'm probably gonna put out. Like, it was the first time I wrote a song that I think is really, really good. And
Yeah.
at that point, I had a couple songs out on my Tyler Semicolon page that were okay. Um, and I sang it and I didn't get through, and I was like, fuck, like, it must be my voice. Like, I wrote a good song that had a good concept. I didn't have the production on it yet, but I knew I could just like get someone to do good production. It has to be my voice. So what I did was I went into my garage under my apartment complex where I live,
Yeah.
and I sang for an hour and a half for like a whole year, every single day, or like basically every single day. Maybe I missed a day or two, but like, it was a consistent effort to get better, which is like, I think I have a kind of an advantage over the regular singer songwriter, because like, I played sports as a kid, and I think a lot of singer songwriters do that artsy stuff or whatever, and they like, practice is like a big thing for, and even for art it is like, but like a painter, you practice by painting, and you can practice different types of painting and stuff like that. But like, putting your head into like, this might be a little bit painful or might be a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it. I think I have an advantage over a lot of people that sing, just because I
It's
don't care about like how tired I am or like what time it is at night. Like, people go and like, I used to be in the gym when I played basketball at like 3 a.m. I used to be like, it's just like a work ethic thing. Like, if I like something, I'm going to do it whenever I have time. You know what I'm saying?
dude, I like as soon as you said that thing of like going in like down into the garage and practicing and singing, I instantly thought of you playing ball. And I was like, that's because I never played basketball, but I skateboarded. And it was the same thing. Is like, if you want to get the trick, you just have to keep skating. There's no other thing.
Yeah,
So as
yeah, yeah,
soon
yeah,
as
yeah.
you said that, I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. So then obviously I improved after that. That was the big thing. And I loved it. Like, oh, and I know I'm skipping all around the place, but like,
No, dude, I love this. You're telling the story so well.
yeah.
That's great.
So when I got on the show, the MTV show, I met this guy who was a battle rapper. His name was E Money. He was on the show too. And he
Okay.
was like, dude, you do music? And I lied. And I was like, yeah, I do music, because I had
No way.
yeah, yeah. I wrote songs and shit like that. And we wrote a song for the show, and we put it on Spotify afterwards, and it got like, I don't know, to like 100,000 plays or 200,000 plays. And I was like, that's this easy. Like, I can do this. Like, what? Like, just if you have a platform and you sing a song, you got it. And I was like, okay, let's keep doing that. The thing is, once me and him started making more songs together, and they kind of got, they were still good. Like, I still like those songs, but they got less and less attention. So I was like, I might as well do my own thing, because I don't want to be like bonded to this guy all my life.
Hmm.
Because he might not want to do music or whatever. I still have a song with him right now that I want to put out. We see each other all the time and talk, but like, I wanted my own page. I wanted my own like sound, you know?
Yeah,
Uh,
totally. I think that's amazing right now with music too. Is like when I first was getting involved in music, all you basically had to be in a band. And then you have to get the determination and the agreement of 4 or 5 other people.
exactly.
So like now that we're in this era where it's like singer-songwriters can produce on their own and write on their own and do their own projects, like I love it because it's all the dedicated kids that are just doing their own thing and they have the platform to do their own thing. So I feel that.
Exactly. So we did Perfect Match, right? We did Perfect Match. It was called Perfect Match, the song. It's still on Spotify now. You can go stream it if you want to. And
Oh,
then
tight.
and then we came back with a song called Happy Place, which was written by E Money, and then I wrote the bridge of it.
Mhm.
And that one got like 200,000 streams. So I was like, this shit is so easy. I'm gonna be a pop star tomorrow. But then when I started
Yeah.
doing it on my own, the shit wasn't the same. I had to write more because it was only me, and also it didn't have the same vibe. It just didn't have the same sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go listen to Happy Place right now, it will be a good song. And that was like the
Yeah.
second song that I put out. And I thought it would
Yeah.
carry over, but it didn't because it was very one dimensional. It wasn't that hard to sing. It was just catchy, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So it was kind of like this hard reality of being like, "Oh damn, I have to go back a little bit and get better myself."
Yeah, exactly. And that's what the best part about it was, is that I got a taste of what it was like to be successful very early. And I think that a lot of
Whoa.
people don't, and that's how a lot of things that I've done kind of end up, is I get to see, like, in terms of like auditioning for something. Like the first time I auditioned for a show, I got it on Are You the One. The first time I put out a song on Spotify, it got like 100,000 views or plays. After like 3 times of going to an audition, I got like a part, you know? So
Dude, I to go back to even you saying yes to this episode, that what you're explaining right now, I think is so freaking important in everyone's lives. And I love, like, again, I respect you so much for paying it forward because you're telling your story now. And I think that certain people get that taste and that little chance where they're like, damn, did I just get like, what is this? And when you get that, it gives you all the fuel you need in the world. And I hate the idea that not everybody does get that. So the fact that like anybody in any position to ever pay that forward, hearing your story and hearing how much that impacted, it's just so cool.
yeah, thanks, man. I mean, like, to me, it was weird because I was getting all these success, like, they were minor successes in like the grand scheme of things, but I was getting a lot of
Yeah.
minor successes in a lot of different areas. So it was really hard for me to choose something to like, do I want to act?
Whoa.
Do I want to do modeling? Because like literally before quarantine, I had like a Nike modeling contract, not like a Nike.
What?
Yeah. So I did a previous one where I did a campaign for their Big and Tall campaign, and that paid really well. And then before quarantine happened, I was going to do another one. So like I was doing
Damn. So you had options.
yeah, I was doing, but I wouldn't be in this position right now if it wasn't for quarantine. because because
Whoa.
quarantine stopped all the modeling, stopped all the acting, and I was like, what do I really want to do right now? It's like, and the gyms were closed, so I couldn't even like work on like my physique or anything like that.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
so I was like, let me just write these songs. Like, let me get better at singing. Like after this quarantine, I want to be better at my songwriting. Going back again, so
Damn
this
it, that's cool.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
back
please go
again
back. Go back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
one
dude,
more
like
time.
again, I love this. I am in.
So the biggest thing about my first song was that it wasn't honest. It wasn't honest. It was like me being like, it was, and I'm not gonna say it wasn't honest. It was partially honest, which I think is the worst thing that you can do when you're starting out, unless you're completely have that side of yourself that believes it. Like when rappers come up and they're like, I'm gonna do this, or I have bitches and money, like that shit. Like it's
Mhm.
cool when they have it, but if you don't have it, then I don't think that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I got six
Yeah.
bitches on my phone, you need to have six bitches on your phone. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
Count them.
exactly.
Count
You
them
need to
to
have
6
at
now.
least six, right? So when I made a song, I was like, oh yeah, I'm on TV, but like not it's not like I was a TV star. It's not, or like I'm like super successful, but I wasn't successful. I was still in the fucking living room. And that's not how
Yeah.
I felt. I didn't feel successful. Like some people make a song and they feel successful and they want to make their brand is like, I feel successful at the time. I didn't feel successful. I felt like the topic of my song was wrong, and I just moved. I realized that early, and I think that's my thing when I listen to other people's music is like when I hear their lyrics, I want to hear the authenticity, and that's like my biggest thing is you you are not going to make a good song unless you feel every single word that you put on it. Not every single word, but at least like 80% of the words, you know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
makes it feel better when you sing it because it's so true to you. So so then I was in a relationship and I wrote a song about the relationship, and it was just super honest. I was like, um, one of the lines I wrote was like, and she's vegan, what a healthy little demon. Like that. Like that was like completely honest. She was a vegan girl, and she was like super healthy, went to gym all the time. And I was like, that sounds really like that. I loved saying that over and over again. It might have not have been the coolest thing, it might not have been the best line ever, but like I loved singing it, even though I never
Yeah,
sang
it
it out
was
loud.
so real to
Yeah,
you, and you made it. It was your thing that you thought of.
exactly. So
Yeah.
after that, I recorded this song called, and this is after it, and then like just fast forward a little bit because I waited a really long time. I took a break because I was getting success in modeling and getting some more acting parts, and then I didn't release a song for a while. Then I wrote this song called "Something to Cry About," and it is one of the favorite songs that I've written so far, and it's on my Tyler Semicolon page, but it really does belong on my Tai Verdes page, and I'm gonna get it over there eventually. It's probably gonna be on whatever project that I put on.
Yeah, like
Um,
re-record it, give it a little more,
yeah, not
do
even
some
that,
more
bro. I don't
justice
even
for it. Oh,
I
really?
like no, I'm putting it as is. Like I don't care.
Oh, damn. That's sick. Yeah, so you're like fully proud of it.
Yeah,
Like
fully
it
proud.
is a piece.
Listen, also imperfections. I'm not chasing perfect ever. I'm chasing really good because that's gonna get in the way. Like if people, that's another thing about LA is like people are like, oh yeah, I do music. Okay, how many songs do you have on Spotify? Zero. Then you don't do music. Like that's my mentality for anyone who says that. Oh, you do this? Show me. Like you paint? Show me where you're posting your art on Instagram. Oh, you do podcasts? Show me the 10 podcasts that you did. Like
Yeah.
everyone likes to talk this big game. Like, I don't care if you're bad. Show me you do it so you can start. Like, you don't even have a stepping stone. That's my mentality. Like, if anyone's out there that has a song that they've recorded or a song that they've written and they haven't recorded it or tried to figure out how to get it, like go through DistroKid to get it on Spotify, you don't really want to do music because no one's gonna come out there and help you to figure out how to put this shit on online and get it going for you. No one's just gonna come to your next show. Like unless you're the next, I don't know, Christina Aguilera, and you have this beautiful voice where someone can hear you singing in a pub and be like, oh, this girl's got it. Like, no one is doing that for you.
Dude.
Absolutely nobody is doing that for you. You have to figure out how to put your shit out there and then point to this. And when someone's like, here, listen to, like, where's your music? You can point to it and be like, I made this. It might not be perfect, but you have something.
Dude, that is such a refreshing take to hear. Like it's so honest and real, but hearing you articulate that so well is like it's almost sad to me how much I'm like, damn, like LA has kind of fucked me up because you just don't hear it said like that. And it's so simple and it's so real. I love that. And I love that you're going to keep the song honest and as it was.
Exactly.
So continue.
So then I
So,
put out Something to Cry About, and then when I recorded it, my engineer at the time, because I hadn't recorded with him for a while, he was like, Tyler, what the fuck was that? Like we played it at we were recording it, and there's this part where I like go a little bit higher than the regular chorus, and he's like, you can do that now? Like, what is this? And I was like, I guess I can, because I had just been practicing scales. I hadn't been singing songs. So I
is
just,
that just comes back to the garage days
yeah,
of just like,
yeah. Well, I mean, the garage days are right now. I literally did it yesterday.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh son. Dude.
Yeah. So yeah, my producer freaked out once he heard it, and he was like, dude, your voice sounds crazy right now. And I was like, yeah, like this sounds like it could be on the radio. And then he was like, yeah, I could. And then when I went back and listened to it in the car on the way home, I listened to it all the way home. And the next time I came in the studio with him, I was like, dude, I'm going to make it. Like, I know everyone says that to you. They're going to bring you along if they get signed or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be the one. And he's like, okay, man, whatever. And then the next song we recorded was this song called Lifesaver that no one has heard of yet. And then the second song we recorded in that session was Stuck in the Middle. And I thought
No
Lifesaver
way.
was better, and Stuck in the Middle was a throwaway. I was like,
Oh, so the world's not even ready for what's coming next.
yeah, exactly. So I was like, I need something on my Tai Verdes page. And how I thought of Tai Verdes was people call me Tai already.
Yep.
Like my mom and dad call me Tai. So instead of making it TY, I made it TAI. And I lived
I
in
like
Palos
that.
Verdes. So
Oh.
Verdes, right? I lived on like the border. So I wasn't near like the crazy rich people, but I was near like the Torrance, Palos Verdes border of like Palos Verdes, I guess. Yeah. So
It's so funny how well that just works together. Like that's like such a simple explanation. I'm like, oh yeah, shit, sounds super cool.
exactly. And then that's another name that no one else had. I like that's the thing about
Stop.
yeah. So if you go on what I did when I was like thinking of names was like, should I be like Tyler Verdes? Tai Verde? Like, should I be like one of those cool names like Labyrinth? Bro, you know how hard it is to think of like a cool name? Like, I don't know, like Brett Favre
Yes,
was
I
like
do.
Sonder and shit like
I
that.
do. Cause when I was telling you before we started recording, like I did like version 3, that label and the tour and all that. I spent months. Like I just had an iPhone notepad of just every name and they were so stupid. And you start to be like, all right, maybe this, and then it's taken and it's just back to square one.
Yeah, and so there was I was with my girl at the time, and and I was like, I was going through the process of changing my name, and I had no ideas, and I was literally sulking. I was depressed. I was like, this is
Dude,
what an identity crisis feels like, and it was like that for like I don't know, like 38 hours straight, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I just stayed up for the rest of the night, and I thought of Tiber. Like I willed that to come into my mind,
dude,
you know.
dude, I feel that. I remember the day, at least like with when I was naming that project, I had one night where I was like, I'm fucking done. And I was like, I'm staying up until it's done. And at like 3 a.m, I was like, cool, this is it. I feel great.
Yeah, and then once you feel great, it's game over. You can't go back. Like
That's so good.
the best part about Tai Verdes to me is like when people used to say Tyler, like because people would at the peak of the show, I would get recognized because I live near USC. If I went to the college campus, everybody would recognize me, like literally every single person. Yeah, because they watch it on colleges. So people would be like, "Oh, it's Tyler semicolon," and I would cringe, or it's like Tyler from Are You the One, and I would cringe really hard because I didn't want to be associated with Are You the One really, and I didn't want to be Tyler semicolon. So every time someone called my name, I'd be like, "Oh, this is cringy." But then once I put out something, and then some like random clothing brand hit me up, and it was like, and they said my name, Tai Verdes X their clothing brand. I don't know, I don't really remember what it was, and it looked so cool on paper, and I was like, this is the one. Like I feel proud of that,
dude. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's cool because now, like, legit, I didn't know anything about your MTV days. You said that, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? So, like, the fact that it's working, like, you have this new identity that's speaking for itself as just like, oh, this song is sick. Who is it? Tai Verdes.
Exactly. That's what I wanted. Like, I didn't really want. Also, my other songs that I have on my Tyler semicolon page, like, I'm not as proud of them as I am of, like, for Stuck in the Middle. The reason why I'll go into that part of it, like, since we're at the Stuck in the Middle days right now.
Yeah.
I wrote that song in like an hour, 2 hours, and
Whoa.
I that whole song is just verbatim things girls have said to me. Like if you listen to the first line, it's like, "You're a player, aren't you? And I bet you got hope." Every single girl that I probably talked to ever has said those words to me. Like I have a sign on my forehead that says, "You need to call this guy a player." Like every single one. Yeah. So it was just like, why not just say that in a song? I've never heard that before. Let's just make it a physical thing that people can point to. And I think that's why a lot of people are gravitating towards it, because like when someone has a first line in a song that you really identify with, you fuck with the song that much more.
Dude, and it comes back to not only are you right there, but it also comes back to just pure honest. Like it's just like, yeah, this is real. I've heard this so much.
Or like guys, when I first, so what I did was how the song blew up was I wrote that song and I was like, this is dope. And then I found that beat on YouTube.
No
All right.
way.
So listen. Okay, everyone, this is the most important thing about anything that I'm going to say right now. When I was making Something to Cry About or all these other beats, I was paying producers like $2,000, which I was getting ripped off for. But like, I was paying them like $2,000 to make 3 songs or $1,000 to make a song for me, and it wouldn't come out the way I wanted to. So I would go on YouTube and find beats and just write to the beats. I'd write full songs to these beats on YouTube and then buy the leases for them. I'm literally giving away like how I did all of this. Like, I don't care. So there's obviously contracts that go into it. Like if you get a certain amount of streams, you got to pay more, blah, blah, blah. But when you get to those levels, they're good problems, right? They're good problems to have when it's like, oh, if you get 100,000 streams, you got to pay $50. Like that's, if you get 100,000 streams, you should be like happy that you got 100,000 streams, not sad that you got to pay 50 more bucks, right? So it's like looking about the positive things. But like, once I didn't want to pay $1,000 for people to make tracks anymore, I would just scathe YouTube into the night. I'd be like, what's talking to me right now? What is a good sound? What is a good sound? Found this guy. His name's Red Musk. He's in France, and he's making these ridiculous beats, like literally on YouTube for the public to hear. That that shit was on YouTube for every single person, and it had like, I don't know, 3,000 plays on it. So if you're out there and you're like, I can't make a good song, you're not fucking trying. anyone can do what I did. Anyone could have found that song and could have bought it. Like, I got that song, I recorded it, it started getting some streams, and then I bought it. Like, because I knew it was going to get hundreds of thousands of streams. Literally, and there's other people like that. There's other people out there that have crazy skill that are just not recognized because they don't have a platform. And I once the song got like 10,000 streams, I called him. Well, actually, I hit him up on Instagram. I was like, Red Musk, we need to talk. Like, I need to buy this song from you. And he's like, hey, I don't really want to sell the song. This is how I make money. I was like, listen, you don't understand. I got 10,000 streams in like 2 days. This is about to be huge. And he's like, all right, okay. And then it took me like a week, and then I bought it. And he was like, I'm only going to sell it if you buy the exclusive. And I think I paid $800 for it.
Oh my God. And over here, you're like, yeah, I've already spent 2 racks on a shitty beat. Like, let's go.
And then I was like, he was still not believing in it, right? But he also was looking at the streams. That's why he charged me so much. He usually charges 400, but then I got to like 60,000 streams in like 2 weeks, and he was like, "Okay, I'm going to charge you 800 for this beat because I know it's going to do well, and you need it." So, and I don't blame him. Like, he should have done that. Like, I was
totally
like, that's what happens when you write on leased beats. You have to pay more. And then we started talking. So then Stuck in the Middle starts blowing up because the reason, and I keep skipping around, but I go on TikTok, and I was doing the TikTok thing for a long time before. I think I had like 100 videos doing different shit because I would see my friends have like 10,000 followers on TikTok, or like 15,000. Some have 30,000 followers. I was like, is this real? Like, how are these people engaging so much? And then I started doing this thing where I would work out every single day. And people were like following me because of that, because I would like say motivational shit like, I don't care what time it is, like it's 2 a.m. I'm in the gym right now, like you don't have any excuses. Or like when quarantine started happening, I'd be like, I'm doing a home workout, like no excuses. And then I fucking stopped working out. But like
damn, but no, that's really interesting though, that like you, because obviously again, from basketball, from fitness modeling, like that was something that you were doing, but you took a totally different approach to TikTok. You didn't go in as music guy.
No, I didn't even. Oh, not even at all. I mean, like, I think I had like maybe one song or something like that I posted just because I made music in the past and that I posted on YouTube. But I wasn't going in posting a bunch of music. And then I went in, I wrote the song Stuck in the Middle, went down to my car in the garage, sang it, and was like, hey guys, should I put out the song? Sang the song. It got some motion, put it on SoundCloud, got even more motion. I think it got like 5,000 plays in a day or something, or like 2 days or something like that. And then once it got out on Spotify and Apple Music, it was off to the races. And that shit changed my life. It's like TikTok changed my life. And I'm giving up more information. If you're an artist right now, any kind of artist, painter, you do music, you do anything, if you're not on TikTok, you don't want to be successful. Like, if you think it's too young, or if you think it's whatever, yes, Charlie D'Amelio is on there dancing and trying to thirst trap other 13-year-olds. But there's also a huge artist community that is building over there that is contacting 800 million users on TikTok. It's the most used social media out there. So if you're saying no to TikTok, you're saying no to a whole audience of people that could be it's a numbers game, dude. Like, you're buying lottery tickets when you do this shit. If you're not going to buy the TikTok lottery ticket, you have no potential to win the lottery. So like, you're just fucking yourself over.
I'm going to get you like a trophy of like most value brought to the podcast. And like, I love it. And the other thing that I have to pay you the compliment of is I entirely agree. You're right. But also how creative you got. Like the fact that you're like, okay, I know fitness, and like that you went into it in your own way. That's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, I had seen other people do fitness shit too, but I just would like having that sort of vlog style of like talking like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to the gym every day. I even like, it wasn't even that I was like, dude, I didn't even create that. I saw someone else go to the gym. Like, this is day 26 going to the gym. It was like this overweight guy going to the gym every single day. And he was trying to get down to like 200 pounds. So like, I don't think creativeness has to start with an original idea. I think you have to like see someone else's idea, copy it for a little bit, and then bring your own flavor to it. You don't have to, like, because you can't copy someone else completely. That's the whole point of being original. Like, you have to bring your own flavor to something.
Yeah. But at the same time, like you're saying, is like, okay, yes, you have to be original, but you can also like, you don't have to shoot yourself in the foot and not use tried and true methods to get successful and buy 0 lottery tickets to be like stubborn or something, or to think that you have to do it all on your own. Like, you take that's that combination. It's like, okay, cool. What can I use to my advantage here? How can I hedge this bet the best as possible? And then when you have that exposure, then come correct and be honest and be real.
Exactly. Like the whole point of me going on TikTok and putting that song up, because I had seen, like, I watched other people be like, "Hey guys, should I put this song out?" And I was like, "Okay, my turn." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do this,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to put my song out and see how well it does. So then it started blowing up on TikTok, and then my life has changed immensely. So I'll tell you about my current situation now. So
Please.
my current situation is the song is at 80, I think, with 800,000 streams, and every single record label has been in contact with me, probably.
No way.
Yeah.
Let's
So
go.
now, because the thing is, it wasn't that I just came correct with the fucking song. I have 8 other songs that, like, when labels talk to me, they're like, "What other music do you have?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I've got other music that you that you can listen to." And they come back and they're like, "Are you kidding me?" like it's nothing like Stuck in the Middle. It's like I do a bunch of different, like, genre bending stuff, like, and it's getting a lot of positive response. I was brought up into Arista Records A&R meeting, and
Mhm.
at the time I was being managed, like, kind of like a friend manager, a friendager, which
Yep.
I mean, like, if you do that, you got to be confident in the person, and I just wasn't confident in my person. So
Yeah.
in an Arista A&R meeting, this guy named Ryan Chisholm, he heard my song, and he was like, let me reach out to this guy." He reached out to me, and I was like, "Who are you, dude?" And he's like, "Hey, like, I took a pill in Ibiza, Mike Posner, like Trevor
Yeah.
Daniel Falling on TikTok has like 1 billion streams. I manage those guys." And I was like, "Say no more. You're my manager." Yeah.
Whoa.
So then he was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it." And I was like, "Okay." And then we obviously set up like this, like, trial period or whatever. But he's my manager. Like, I'm working with them right now. And
Wait, so does that mean you work with Brandon Epstein too?
dude, I literally was on the phone with Brandon Epstein before this.
Brandon is my guy.
Yeah, exactly. So
Oh my goodness. Huge shouts. This is incredible. Wow.
exactly. So Brandon Epstein and Ryan are managing me. They're killing it. They were like, "Okay, we have to get this on the DSPs." And for anyone that doesn't know what DSP is, digital store platform for, like, music, like Spotify, Apple Music, and stuff like that. So one of the reasons why he um, is my manager right now is because he was, like, pushing me. He has, like, the connections to be like, "Hey, Spotify, look at these numbers," which my numbers don't make sense, because once on Stuck in the Middle, I have like 150,000 monthly listeners with 800,000 plays. That means, like, people are listening 5 or 6 times to the song,
Yeah.
when they
Which,
find it.
like, yeah, so they're coming back to it. And also, I feel like it's growing really fast. Like, it's only been out now.
A month.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, that the whole thing is that, like, I did that whole thing, like, all those plays, like, when I got to 500,000, I had no playlisting. It was just people finding the song through Discover Weekly and shit like that, and putting it
Yeah.
on their own personal playlist. I didn't have a Spotify
And now
editor.
you're getting Spotify playlisting.
Yeah, I was on Fresh Finds. I was on Indie, or Fresh Indie. I was on, like, what is it, New Hot and New Chill or something like that. All the
Yeah, I saw
playlists.
it on one of those chill playlists too, yeah. Which
Exactly.
is also cool because it crosses over so many, like, it fits in so many playlists.
Yeah, like, like, a lot of the time it's, like, compared to, like, Surface's Sunday Best. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Mm.
in that sort of vibe where it's like feeling good, like I should, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, everyone that hears the song, they're like, "This is what I want to scream in the car when I'm going to the beach," or something like that. And I didn't even have that vibe when I was making the song. I was just like, "Okay, here's my song. You guys do whatever you want with it," and people just
Oh my God.
responded to it. And now I'm trying to, get a little video together, like a lyric video, and like a more official music video. And yeah, we're seeing what the labels have to say, what kind of offers are coming up, because um, everyone is super interested. I don't know how long I'm going to be independent for, but we'll see what happens.
That's so cool. That's my favorite part of your story is, like, explaining this specific song. Like, we're in this moment right now. Like, you just said it. You're like, I don't know what happens next. I don't know how long I stay independent. But the fact that you had that taste of having some amount of success, but really with the Verdes project, you it was a YouTube beat and TikTok. And that's not to discredit it. That's the fact that like it comes back to hard work. Everybody has that platform. Everybody could go on YouTube and find a beat. Everybody could go on TikTok and do something, but it's like you did it so right and you just had that vision and you just did it. You actually did it.
Yeah. And I think that you actually did it. I think that that's the biggest thing is that like I know people are probably out there like, what? Like he's not even the best singer I know. What? That song, that's not that great of a song, but like, dude, why don't you do it? And then you try it.
Dude.
And
Well,
then you can say that shit. Like
yeah, and like
I want you to go fucking sit in your fucking living room that you have to live in and try to make this shit pop. Like I
but
made this shit pop. Like
yeah, like the reason why I love this conversation in this episode so much is you are like every turn, you're the example of like you could have been playing basketball and you left school and you're like, I refuse to work a 9 to 5. And you somehow found the opportunity to go onto an MTV show. You had that on your radar, whatever you did, every step of the way, you turned nothing into something and then leveraged it with tools that anyone could have.
Yeah, anyone could.
That's fucking crazy.
That's
crazy.
So back to the 9 to 5 thing. I actually had to get a job. So this is the part of the story that is my least favorite part. So money ran out.
Oh.
And I didn't have a job for a while. So I started doing odd jobs. I was a referee for an adult volleyball league. I don't know if you've had like Arthur from accounting yelling at you about a volleyball spike, but that was me. Yeah. All right. I did intramural volleyball. I did intramural bowling. I did intramural like what is it? It's basketball. I did all that shit. And then after that, I worked at a place called Gentle Monster, which was like it's this like Asian premium sunglass brand. And the whole time at the store, you're like standing. You can't sit down. And like if there was a ranking of people who hate to stand, I'm number one. Like I don't like to stand for long periods. That's like a stupid like bougie thing. But I'm like tall. I'm not that flexible. Standing hurts my shit. Like I don't like it. Yeah. So then I was there for 4 months standing, hating every single part of my life. One of my coworkers, we were hanging out after work and she was like, yeah, why? Like you're so different after work. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, you're just a lot happier. And I was like, yeah, this 9 to 5 shit, I can't do it for that much longer. So what happened was I quit that job and then I found something that I liked more, which is like, that's what I love to see in people is when they don't like something and they change their situation. So I actually, while I was at the job, I realized I hated it. Then I started working at Verizon, a job that I could sit down and that I actually liked. Like phones are like my thing. I'm actually kind of techie.
Oh, cool.
Like I know a lot about that shit. So they didn't have to teach me anything about the product. Like I know what like a fucking gigabyte is and I know how to transfer data and I know how to compare like a Samsung to an Apple.
Yeah.
So I've been working there and I'm still working there. Like I'm literally on the phone with like the vice president of like Capitol Records and then I'm in my Verizon store outfit.
Dude, honestly, thank you for sharing that part of it because it again comes back like it's so much more honest, it's so much more real. And I think that's so much more motivational to be like, oh, damn, like he's lived in a partitioned living room. He has a Verizon job. He's reffed bowling, like all of these things, even with this success, like you've gone through all these steps just because you believe in yourself and because you're chasing something bigger.
And like, I know you're saying like, this is like, you're singing with end products, but I had no light at the end of the tunnel. And that's like the faith part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the only light at the end of the tunnel was me hearing myself on these records get better. And I didn't know if people were going to believe in how much better that I had gotten. You know what I'm saying? Like when I put out Something to Cry About and I thought it was good, it only got like, I don't know, 5,000 plays on Spotify. So, I mean, that was pretty telling to me like, oh, that's a step in the right direction, but it's not anywhere near what I think I can be. So yeah, with other records on this thing, like I am just going for it. like Stuck in the Middle was the beginning of what I'm about to do.
Dude, that is the coolest shit. Like I'm so happy we're talking right now too, because like the just what is about to happen next is just as exciting. Like we're gonna have to do a follow-up episode to be like, yo, remember when we were just talking about Stuck in the Middle?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, here's the thing. I think like when I made the song, I got hit up by this guy who was like, let's make some video content. And his name's Elliot. He's a really nice guy. I love him. And I'm still working on video content with him right now. But he was like, yeah, man, I really like the song. And I was like, dude, this is going to be the thing. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I think this could be like Old Town Road-esque a little bit in terms of the amount of people that are about to listen to it. And he's like, I mean, kind of. And I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is about to get bigger than what you think it is. And this was when it had like 200,000 plays. Yeah.
yo.
So and then he literally just went to a shoot with like, I don't know, some I don't know, B-list celebrity. And he was on set shooting something for the Grammys. And he heard her singing Stuck in the Middle when he played it. Like she was humming along to the words when he played it out loud when he was showing a friend on the set. And I was like, and then he called me afterwards and he was like, you were right. It's like, this is happening right
It's
now.
happening.
It's happening.
Dude, it's so exciting. And I don't know, man. Like I love, it's so cool to see something on the internet. Cause like I saw the same thing. I was just like, oh, this song's sick. Looks like it's blowing up. This guy looks cool. Like, oh, I wonder what to do a podcast. So the fact that like we got to talk and you're as humble and like that you, even in being in the thick of LA and dealing with all of it, like you've kept it so real and honest. And like, it's just really cool to hear your story. Like I'm so impressed, and it's so motivating to me. And I think everyone who listens to this, like the way you told this story and the person that you are, like that's everything I have ever wanted to show on this podcast. And it's just fucking cool.
Thanks, man. I mean, like, to be honest, I'm just trying to like pay my rent next month. Like, this is not like, it seems pretty glamorous from the outside, but to like, all this shit is just numbers. Like, I haven't seen a check. I haven't seen anything that has changed my life yet. Maybe in the next month I will, maybe I don't. But all I know is like, I just want to hit play on my Tai Verdes page and be proud of the things that play when it goes down. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my end goal. And I think that it's really important to be happy with what you create and not have like this. A lot of people are like, I see it all the time with like young people. They're like, I want to be at 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. And I think that's really the wrong way to look at it because you're basing your success off of other people's opinions. And that it's not going to get you anywhere because you could be putting out the best content. And just because not a lot of people seeing it doesn't mean it's not good. That French guy was putting out, he has 40 other beats out on his playlist, and that doesn't mean they're not good. It's just that I put my skill on it and we made something. Even like I think music is meant to be made together, but that's another story. But
well, no, and like that, I think that does say something too, because it was out there for however long and he made all these other tracks, but like the artist that you were, whatever you heard in your head, could that have been somebody else? Maybe, but I don't know. Like it's like that clicked with you and you were able to make the song that it was. Like that's interesting too.
Exactly. But and just putting it on yourself. Like I think that a better goal would be instead of like 10,000 subscribers or 10,000 listeners that you say like, okay, I'm going to put out 10 songs in these next 3 months. Like that's a way better goal. Like because guess what? If you don't hit that goal, there's no one to blame but you.
Yeah, that's so true. And like again, kind of back to your discipline with basketball. It's like I'm going to go sing in the garage every night for a year, whatever it is. Or like, yeah, it's so tangible. It's something so directly on you.
Yeah, like basing your and a lot of people probably don't think about it like that because these new ways to support yourself in this new age is like all based on other people's opinions. Like, do they like you? Do they subscribe? Do they support you on all those fucking what is that site that they can pay? Patreon, yeah, or like like or OnlyFans if you want to do shit like that. Like, do they support you? There was this girl I met that was doing OnlyFans and she was like getting nothing. And then quarantine happened and now she's making like $10,000 a month.
Crazy.
So like I don't care what you're doing. If you're putting out content, you are going to get an audience. It's going back to the lottery tickets thing. Every piece of content you put out is a lottery ticket. You're not going to win the lottery if you don't have any tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that really hits me hard. Like that is the best simple advice. Damn.
And I'm gonna say this right now. This is not me. Like, my brother is the one who talks to me about all this shit. Like, he's the one who's still, yeah. Like, I have this mentality because my brother is he's like the most straight laced guy. Like, why are you giving a fuck about what other people think? Like, why don't you put out a bunch of content and see what happens? Like, when when I was telling him about the success of Stuck in the Middle, he was just like, okay, when's the next song? Like, there's not, he doesn't really care about what other people are doing or like whatever. Like, he wants me to say, to stay as self-driven as possible. And he's younger than me. That's the crazy part. Like,
damn.
like,
dude, shouts to him. That's so cool.
Yeah, like, all these things I've said to you have come through him. So I'm gonna take a little bit of credit because I use them. But like, yeah, he's the guy. He goes through the trenches too. Right now, he's living with my dad, working on like the family business in Washington.
Damn.
Which is also hard in its own way because he doesn't have his own place and he's 23. So it's like, you got to go through the trenches in that way.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's so cool though. That's so damn cool. We hit our hour, man. It flew by. I was so in that story.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you got any other questions, like, I'm happy to ask any questions. Like, this.
No, I think like that said a lot of it. Like, I really wanted to hear your genuine story, and you're such a good storyteller that I didn't have to ask too many questions. Like, you guided it so well. Like, I was just in.
Okay, good. Because I thought I was like, man, I'm trying not to miss any part of this because this is my first time doing it. I'm going to try to explain everything that I got, especially for the first time that someone asked me to do a podcast, which I know you guys have to hit your hour, like 90 minutes or whatever it is to get an episode.
Dude, no, that's I'm honored. This is your first podcast as the guest?
I think for music, yeah. For like reality TV show, no. But yeah, for music, yeah.
Awesome. As Tai Verdes.
Yeah, as Tai Verdes. Yeah, there you go. You got the Tai Verdes, the first Tai Verdes podcast.
Let's fucking go. I'm truly honored. That's so sick. That's so sick. And yeah, like, again, like, maybe we come back and do something after some more music is dropped, but I am so happy with this conversation and just like painting the picture of this moment. Like we were talking about, like, this is just this little time capsule.
Yeah, man. And this is what I'm going to do. I hope the listeners get jealous. I'm going to send you my next single for you to listen to because it's already done.
Please.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah. Yes. Oh, and also, where can anybody find you? Like, where do you want people to pay attention to you next? If they're listening to this, what's the best place to follow you? Where should they pay attention to you at?
Listen, I got a bunch of lottery tickets out there. I got Tai Verdes on everything. If you just go Tai Verdes, Verdes. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Like,
you're out there. You're doing it.
I'm out there.
Spotify, obviously.
Apple Music, obviously. All these
actually.
Things, but yeah, SoundCloud, all that stuff.
Dope. Dude, all right. I'm ending it here. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. Like, hit me up in like 2 months or something. We'll see where I'm at.
Yo, let's go. I love that. So there you have it, Tai's story, at least up until now. Who knows what happens next when he starts dropping more music, but that's it up until now. I really hope you liked it. Again, if you did, please share it with a friend. That's the biggest favor that you can do for me. It helps the podcast grow. It helps me get more guests like him on it, and it means the world. Go check him out. Like he said, Tai Verdes, find it everywhere. TAIVERDES. If you want to go above and beyond, subscribe to the podcast on Spotify. That is becoming more and more relevant and more helpful. So all you have to do is click that subscribe button, and it really helps. Helps me with like the ranking algorithms and all that good stuff. There you have it. I'll be back next week with another episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.